How has online dating worked for you? Tried serious dating, just ended up increasing the number of men I've slept with. I was talking with a woman friend of mine recently. She's not very attractive, let's say a 6. She's okay with looking for casual sex, but she avoids mentioning this at all in her profile. She told me that the NR1 problem for her is choosing who to go out with because there are way too many creepy ones, but she gets lots of matches when she activates her profile, few pictures, no text. In the meantime, I get like 2 matches a week, out of which just 1 answers every month. With carefully chosen pictures, bio and whatnot. The imbalance of numbers between the 2 genders in my area is completely out of control. Look at this guy over here, lording his 2 matches a week over us. I met my wife in a less traditional online setting. We met on Xbox Live 6 years ago. I was playing Forza Horizon and she joined the party chat I was in. No clue what she was playing. A friend of mine met her husband, married for 7 years, on World of Warcraft. I've been playing WoW for over 12 years. Went on one date with a guy who was the GM of the guild I was in at the time. It was so creepy and awkward that I ended up leaving the guild and changing my character's name and race. I do know a guy that met his wife through WoW though. They've been married for close to 10 years and have 2 kids together. 2 years ago I was swiping through Bumble on a boring, unnecessary conference call and I swiped right on the woman I will be marrying later this year. Does she know Toe? Nah, she's just buying a wedding dress because she hates having money. Started Tinder for a few months. 2 to 3 months, no matches. Redid my pictures twice, still nothing. Deleted and haven't tried again. Thinking of trying again. I've read older accounts aren't prioritized as much after a while. Try remaking an account altogether. I think you have to do this every couple of months. This is 100% the case. I think your profile's really only good for a couple of weeks, tops. This might be different if you're extremely attractive. Matched my missus on Tinder. Both type 1 diabetic, both worked in the same company. Became the factory legend because I got with an office girl. Now we live in Arundel with a river in our back garden, D. So you'd give online dating like a 6/10 or what? I'd push for a 7. I met a boy online 14 years ago when I was 17. He was in Alaska, I was in Australia, but he was my online dating boyfriend. He's currently sitting next to me in Australia as my husband of 8 years. 10/10 would find in the abyss of the internet and marry so hard again. I once online dated a girl in Australia. I lived in California. I met on StarCraft. He was about 16 years ago and we were both teenagers. I was 15 and she was 14, I think, and we used to send each other calling card numbers to talk on the phone, gamed together all the time, and one day, we said our normal daily goodbye and I never saw her again. Sometimes I wonder about it. I'm 33 now, so this was a long time ago. Oh wow, that's intense. God, I remember the calling cards and dealing with rubbish Skype potato video calls. It's crazy to think how much easier it would be today. Long story short, met the love of my life on Pop in Sept 2018. Soulmate who completed me. Made me and my body sing. He got diagnosed with cancer in January 2019, given 12 to 18 months to live. Died December 2019. So, very good for 14 wonderful months. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Life stinks sometimes, and cancer always sucks. A guy messaged me on FB out of the blue talking about my Tinder profile. Said we go to the same university and that it was the only way to reach me since we weren't matched. Long story short, it was mostly an inappropriate and one-sided 5-minute conversation. Had to delete my account after that. Greater than long story short, it was mostly an inappropriate and one-sided 5-minute conversation. What's this I see? Is that for me? A message, right ahead? What joy? What glee? What will it be? What has its sender said? Perhaps they liked my recent post. Perhaps they longed to say, it's you and yours I like the most, you brighten up my day. Perhaps they saw, and swiping right, they had to write me quick. And there it is, oh what delight, a picture of a dick. Fresh fucking sprog, and what a glorious ending. Fuck me but you're amazing. Matched with a girl on Tinder and we decided to meet up. She looked a lot chubbier in person but I didn't mind. Problem was she brought her fat best friend without telling me and she stayed throughout our date. I was pretty much left out of place the whole time. Probably made her seem less fat. Ultimate life hack, just bring someone fatter than yourself so you look better in comparison. Is that with my friends always invite me to meet up, rarely match, when I do get a couple messages back and forth of pleasantries and getting to know then ghosted. Every time. Never gotten a date with anyone from online, assuming you're a male since I've had many similar experiences, but have you seen what an even moderately attractive woman's Tinder app looks like? I was hanging with basically a FWB who was pretty much an absolute mess, and cute but not banging hot, and she kept getting Tinder notifications so she opened the app and I expressed curiosity at what women's Tinder looks like and it was like when you see a friend's mail app's unread push notifications in the thousands. Like holy fuck all I see are read unread notifications all the way down. It's probably less about you and more that these women have so many options, the odds of any one person keeping their interest goes down. This here I got really lucky with my wife. I was literally the first person she matched with. She was unsure about my profile and my pictures, but her knees were weak when she first saw me she says. We had our first year anniversary back in November. Before I matched with her, I went on probably 20 or so dates though. You get used to the disappointment. I swear, half the women just wanted free food. Removed. Don't worry, I won't tell her. I will. I had a girlfriend on RuneScape a few years ago. That's the ultimate online dating. I've once saw a post of a man who had a girlfriend on Club Penguin years ago and now they're dating Earl. That's some next level online dating too. I was invited to a gangbang. Too bad the girl never showed up. Still had sex though. There's definitely more to the story here. One of them tucked their junk in between their legs and took the role of the girl. Another pretended to be the husband who just happened to come home early. Another two pretended to be stepbrothers. Really emotional story this. Got married to the person I met online dating. After countless shit dates, it was just really nice, relaxed, and we just clicked. We've barely been apart since, and that was 10 years ago. Same. I was going through a no more dating, just hookups phase when he asked me out for coffee. The typical I'm looking for something serious line. I kept dodging until I got laryngitis and was so high on meds I said yes. 5 years later, we're in a new country, got married and have a 5-month-old baby. Best accidental swipe ever. Was gonna swipe no as he wasn't really my type. Ah yes, the old tricking someone into a relationship while they're on drugs. Works every time. Met a girl on Plenty of Fish. We went out but it didn't really work out. We are still friends and talk frequently 3+ years later. Oh that's really nice. It's amazing to know that even if it doesn't romantically work out you can still have a friend. Yay. I was literally just talking to her last night and that came up. Sometimes the universe works in funny ways. I was skeptical about it but I swiped aggressively, both left and right, for 2 weeks hoping something would work out. Ended up that after 3 weeks I had a date, with 2 separate girls, Saturday, and one Sunday. Saturday flaked the morning of, claiming to be too hungover to make it. Mind you this was 10 hours before the agreed time so I was not impressed. I was cool about it though, said we could reschedule for later in the week. Second girl messaged me that afternoon asking if I wanted to meet that night instead. I said yeah absolutely, thinking, hey, that's pretty neat. So we agreed to meet at a restaurant of her choosing, and I show up 5 minutes early. Get there, and there's a private event that's closed to the public. So now I'm thinking this is quite a curveball. I wonder if I will have to pretend to know someone at their private corporate event. It wasn't that, though, she just didn't know about the private event. So we went somewhere else. Been seeing her for over a month now, and it's going great. Sure, there are plenty of horror stories, but really my personal opinion is that even if you have 9 bad dates, it only takes one for it all to turn around. I may have gotten lucky, it is still early, but even if I hadn't, if you are serious about wanting a relationship, you have to keep trying. It won't fall out of the sky. Met a few crazies, but then found someone truly psychotic enough to marry me, smiley face. Which one of their personalities said yes though? I married and divorced a man I met on Tinder, so yes and no. It's crazy that Tinder has been around long enough for this cycle to complete. In my mind it feels like it's still a new thing, but I guess it's been around for a while. Don't know the circumstances of the divorce, but sorry to hear it / congratulations. I got married like right before it really took off, always wondered how I would fare. But I just recently got divorced, so now I get to find out, I guess. Honestly, it intimidates the hell out of me. Messaged by a girl on Bumble who was wearing a pro wrestling and a Mass Effect shirt in 2 different pics, and responded immediately. Been dating for over a year now. Is she also built like a brick lavatory? Not that it's a bad thing. I believe brick shithouse is the term you're looking for. Before, blowing money on video games and fast food, lonely and slept as much as I could. After, married, have a daughter, I'm part of her family now and I love them all. Home is clean and comfortable and we're smart with our money and we'll have a house with land before too long. So it's all a trap, I fucking knew it. Not great. Highlights include the dude that kept texting me pictures of Hitler until I blocked him, several who got too drunk to stand, one who puked as I tucked him in and then called me a snotty bitch for not fucking him, and the guy who licked my face with no preamble on the ride home. Yeah, I'm done lol. Wait, the Hitler thing doesn't work? What about Stalin? Ladies like pics of evil mustaches, right? Stalin is okay, but Hitler is a no-no because ladies with good taste know that Hitler's mustache is stolen. They prefer Chaplin, the original. Met my ex-girlfriend on Tinder. 2 years together followed by an unhealthy, adult breakup. We still keep a good relationship post-breakup. I think we were both so ready to find someone right at the time that we haven't stopped to take time for each of us as a person. We became one person as a couple and not 2 people part of a team. We were doing literally everything with each other and that led to our downfall. Still like her very much though and probably always will. I guess my advice is a lot of people are ready to put everything on the fast lane while dating online, and that's a mistake. Take your time. I know this sounds like a stupid question, but why do you think couples who do, or want to do, everything together are bound to not work out in the end? I think most couples need to have their alone time in general. When I had a night outs with my friends, I would invite her and she would do the same. So we did mostly everything together. I think that it got to the point where we would fall on each other's nerves, and when the fun weekend was done, the routine seemed boring. I'm not saying a couple who does everything together will fail, I'm just saying that having separate activities should be encouraged, because when you're back with the person you're in a relationship with, you're more excited to see her. Also, and that's only for my relationship, she was a more relaxed person while I hated staying home. So I think the fact we were going out pretty much every weekend, not necessarily at bars or parties, sometimes just a weekend at the cottage with friends and etc. She was just exhausted when we came back, and then her following week at work would be hard. If you're looking at my numbers, horrible, but if you're looking at my experiences, great. Girl I met online, I dated for a few months. Turns out she was temporarily separated from her husband. She started seeing another guy without anyone else knowing. I find out she was cheating on me and still married when the wife or girlfriend of the guy she was messing around with spray painted her car when she was caught at his house one night. The police called me to figure out where I was that night and told me she was married but not to the guy she had been spending the night with. This was the same day my mother died. Craziest one in this thread, good luck down the line. Met my current partner and future wife. Do they know about each other? To wives and sweethearts. May they never meet. Very successful, had many marriages. I wasn't truly searching for a boyfriend, but I met a boy online and we started dating in 2016. He moved in a year and a half later and we just celebrated our 4-year anniversary. Met my girl on Tinder, 4,5 years later we have a kid. I met a girl on Tinder, and 6 months later our baby was born. Currently laying next to my best Tinder match and our dog. And I wouldn't want it any other way. Married the first girl I dated who I met online. It was on my BBs, and 25 years ago, but it did work. I miss calling BBs and playing Legend of the Red Dragon. I'm too ugly for Tinder, but just attractive enough to get random ads from some women on Facebook. Haven't met anyone I really connect with, though. You should move to my town, there are a bunch of hot single women waiting to meet you. As the Prince of Nigeria, I can confirm there's truth in YB92's words.